Hey everybody, Frugal Farmer here. That sign says no trespassing, crop planting in progress. Kids on four-wheelers were tearing this guy's land up, so he had to put up those signs to keep them off, and I don't know if that really kept them off. There was one kid on a patch of land near here, and he claimed he was riding in the natural irrigation dishes. And then his mother sent out, his mother was notified by Facebook, and she sent out, well, call me if y'all see him doing it again. You wouldn't have seen me doing it but one time. If my parents was informed, I'd have never went back on that property again. They'd have made sure of that. But I guess it's just how times have changed. There was a farmer near where I live, and he was a real big farmer. He had a lot of land. Well, the thing about it, he had trails going through his woods that everybody else was scared to go on and stuff like that. And so I said, well, I'm going to go ask him. So I rode to his house, and his name was, I always called him Mr. Johnny. I asked Mr. Johnny, I said, sir, I said, I'd like to go across your land. I said, I won't ride on no crops. I said, but there's some trails back there. He said, I know there's trails back there. He said, and you won't ride on none of my crops? I said, no, sir. He said, all right. He said, you ride on there. And I had done little stuff with Mr. Johnny, and he and my dad were good friends. And so he let me go across his land, but he told me, he said, just you and only you. He said, no more than your motorcycle. That was it. So he let me go across his land, and I'd go aggravate young girls going to see them. But years later, Mr. Johnny had a vineyard, and he sold muscadine grapes side the road. Had a thriving business. And I was going by there one Sunday, and the guy was walking into his vineyards with a bag. So I pulled over. I said, hey, I said, what are you doing? He said, well, I'll buy grapes here all the time. I'm going to get me some. I said, I buy groceries at Food Line all the time. I just can't go in there and start picking up, you know. And the man evidently got so scared, he went around to Mr. Johnny's, offered to pay for him. Well, I told him, I said, this is my uncle's vineyard. And so I saw Mr. Johnny about a month later, and I was telling him, I said, I may owe you an apology. He said, about what? I told him about the guy going in his vineyard, and he laughed. He started laughing. He said, that guy come to my house. He said, you scared the daylights out of him. He said it was my nephew. I said, yeah, I told him you were my uncle. And from then on, he called me nephew, and I called him Uncle Johnny, and called him that till right before he passed away. But he was a good man. And that's a shame. These kids are blowing through these signs, riding on this land that don't belong to them. And, parents just acting like they're oblivious to the whole situation. You buy a kid something like that, you make sure where they're riding and they're being respectful with it. Well, thanks for stopping by and listen to my memory rant. Share, comment, like, hit that subscribe button. God bless.